20 seconds away from the game beginning. This is going to be a lower elo than what my casts usually do, usually involve. It's going to be, I believe, a silver elo duo. I could OPGG this, but I don't think I'm wrong on this. This is going to be a silver level game. So we're going to go over the matchups when we get in game, because there's some wonky champions in here. Alright, let's get into it. We're going to have top lane Mordekaiser against Maokai, jungle Renekton versus Rammus, Veigar against Syndra, Lucian Varus, Senna Lulu. So interestingly, the blue team opting to run Renekton in the jungle, and red team opting to run a Maokai top. I don't necessarily think that Maokai is too great of a tank, given the current state of the game. He's no pushover when it comes to making picks. He's no pushover. He can definitely hold his own. But if you're looking for a tank threat, you have other champions that do his job better. For the most part. Maokai's kind of in an awkward position where he can't really effectively trade against most lane matchups. And at the same time, he can't out-tank many of the other tanks that they run. Not to mention, in a world where top lane is currently being dominated by juggernauts, Garen, Set, Ward. These guys are not necessarily Maokai's favorite matchup, because Maokai will never win a trade in that circumstance. You can see here, Maokai actually opted to run the Grasp over Aftershock. I don't think that's the correct choice here. Mostly because Aftershock is actually free to trigger on Maokai. Twisted Advance gets you an Aftershock every time. And there's no reason to not take it, because you Twisted Advance in all the time. Even Bramble Smash can help you proc Aftershock if somehow Twisted Advance doesn't get it. And from there you can actually stand to win some trades. And if you want healing on auto, your passive got you covered. Grasp is really awkward for Maokai to proc. Sapling that was a sapling buffed by a bush might do 4 ticks of damage to get Grasp ready. But I think that's still inferior to Aftershock, especially against a Mordekaiser. Ideally, for champions that do run Grasp, tanky champions that run Grasp top, you ideally want to go into Sunfires, but this game I don't think Sunfires is too great of a pickup. First, Maokai here would really like to start Spectral Cow against Mordekaiser and Veigar. The Renekton might give him some grief. He definitely should spec into armor after his first MR item, but his first item should be an MR item here. Now mid lane we do have a Veigar against a Syndra, another pretty interesting matchup I think. Veigar with Glacial Augment, so he's going to go for the GLP start. So he actually has, in theory, really strong team fighting potential in the mid game. But the lane here does favor Syndra just because she does outrange him by a pretty significant margin. Alright, we're gonna start the cast here. It's a bit of a late start just because we had to match their loading screen time. So some of these hamsters actually died during this loading screen because, my god, that was a really long loading screen. Alright, we're finally going to get to the start of the game here. Everyone's buying their items, running out of the base in 5 seconds from now. We didn't even talk about the bot lane matchup. Lucian Senna, the canonical lore lane, against Varus Lulu. Lulu is quite the annoying champion to lane up against.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
She's also terrifying mid-game as well. The presence of Polymorph and Wild Growth helps her just be so disruptive in fights and take out critical players very fast. And we see also the Renekton opting for Machete 3 over Machete Refill. Refill does provide a little bit more value than 3 house potions, just because you just have to backward this once and you already have healed back more health, assuming you drink every charge. If you back with the refill once, you already healed yourself more than 3 health pots can. But 3 health pots in one inventory does give you more immediate healing. It's 450 total health from 3 health pots versus 250 from 2 refill charges. So it's 200 health higher if you buy 3 health potions, excuse me. The problem is you no longer have a sustainable source of regen. So the Renekton here opting for Machete 3 is definitely a very interesting decision. He's basically saying his first clear will be so rough that he needs 200 extra health, and after that he'll be so fine that he doesn't even need additional potions. Because going back from here and buying another potion is actually quite inefficient gold-wise. If you're committing to 3 health potions start, you're probably not going to pick up refill to get in any point in the game. And this is where the lane gets really rough for Mordekaiser. He's just taking the Mord passive. Bramble Smash going to drive him back, but he's clearly losing this trade, and this might be a pattern. Like, it's only going to get worse for the Maokai. I don't think he can ever walk up against this Mordekaiser. And right now you can see 5 CS to 1. Top lane is not going too well for him. We are gonna look at mid lane now. Syndra not proccing the electrocute and actually eating a ton of damage back. Still doesn't proc it. The timer ran out. Oh, there it is. They actually tie up that trade. Veigar tanked a few extra autos at the end of that. Now, interestingly, neither mid laners here went for Corrupting Potion. Veigar, in fact, actually has cookies. Now, Syndra does have what it takes to bully a Veigar out of lane. She has the range advantage over him, and Event Horizon cooldown a little bit too long in the early game to actually do anything beneficial. But are we seeing this? Maokai still at 1 CS? Bruh. No! Not the cannon. Okay, he's actually still sitting at 1 CS. And he's sitting at like almost no health. My goodness. Okay, there's a second CS of the game. 3 minutes in. So, yeah, I mean, I did say Maokai suffers against Juggernaut characters like Mord, Garen, Set, the common top laners nowadays, but this level of being destroyed is not something I anticipated. 20 CS to 5, Jesus. At some point in the game, Senna was tying CS with the Maokai. That's how bad it got. But now, be careful here. Syndra gets cut out in the Event Horizon. Chain stun goes down. One more auto from the Renekton finishes off. First blood to the blue team. Maokai, he just wants some CS, but he's not getting any. He's 24 CS to 7. Jesus. Now Maokai is already not in too great of a spot as a champion. I mean, and now he's in a scenario he can't even CS. Not encouraging for sure. Yeah, he's just being shoved out. This is some massive bullying right here. Definitely a really rough time for him. He's actually sitting on dot health. If Mordekaiser gets greedy, he might die for this. Is he gonna try it though? No. Seems like he'll just let him back. Here's the other problem with 10.6. Due to the teleport nerf early, if he actually backs and teleports to lane, just so he can get some health, because he's got so little income that he can't really buy anything except for a few extra health pots. Oh, the mace just missed. Rammus is rolling up. Is he going for it? No, he's just gonna back off. There's no way you can enter this fight. Not with Maokai at that little health. Yeah, so here's the problem. What's the 10.6 teleport nerf? Say if Maokai backs right now, his teleport is actually on pretty immense cooldown. And yes, 300, that's over 6 minutes of cooldown. And he can't really even buy anything just because he's so behind. He has 7 CS. He has, how much gold is he sitting on? He has 500 gold. So yeah, he goes back and buys like a null magic mantle and teleports back to lane because otherwise he loses too much. And then what do you do for the next 6 minutes? You're kind of screwed. So Mordekaiser definitely has such a big advantage here, and all Maokai can do is stay and soak up EXP. Which sucks, because that's normally a strat you do when you're sitting like a 1v2, but oh no, the Event Horizon catches out the Syndra again. There's just so much damage coming down. Veigar picks up his second kill of the game. Well, second kill for blue team, first kill for himself. And once again, Syndra sent back to the respawn bench. 2 ganks now, working out very well in blue team's favor, and that's gonna convert right into a dragon. Mid lane is completely empty, so no way to contest. We're gonna have a Drake take. Ocean Soul, not Soul. Ocean Drake to blue team. Ocean Soul 6 minutes in. That would be a thing. Maokai punching away at the minions. He has to get something here. Oh, that Bramble Smash would be bad. He wants to try to preserve minion health, not just Bramble Smash the wave. That actually causes him to miss like 2 CS there. And now he's running low on mana. Like all his resources are such a precious commodity. He really can't afford to be throwing any of it away. Eating so many maces to the face, hit after hit. Syndra's roaming top to try to help him, but I think that's a lost cause. You can't really help the Maokai at this stage. He kind of pinned himself into this corner. And really, he has to try to get out of it by playing essentially as safe as he possibly can. There's really no way around it. Now the second set of buffs have respawned, so Rammus is going to go grab the blue buff, while Renekton's already working on his second round of clears. Bot lane for red team is actually ahead. I think that's the only lane that's ahead so far. Top lane is so very clearly losing. And mid lane had her advantages until 2 ganks in a row now. Basically set Vigar ahead in this lane. And in fact, those are not the component items for a GLP. It should be a lost chapter plus a revolver. Neither of which is built from a blasting wand, so I'm not sure why Vigar bought a blasting wand. What is his actual first item? He's going Ludens. Those are the components for a Ludens Echo. So he has Glacial Augment, but he's opting away from the GLP, which is very interesting. Because once you buy Ludens, you're not buying GLP on top of that. That's just too much. There's just too much commitment to lost chapter items. You normally go for more hard-hitting AP items. You probably still get Twin Shadows, but Ludens Echo then GLP? It seems to me that's inefficient. Yeah, Maokai's just dead. Renekton comes top just for a tour, essentially, but he's not even going to be able to help out. It's a Haunting Guys against a Cal that's just barely completed, and Haunting Guys wins that exchange pretty handily. Maokai is being forced to build really defensively, but even defensively he doesn't stand out in particular as some sort of like amazing tank savant. Maybe against AP damage you say that Maokai has a pretty good chance of tanking a lot of it, but even then Galio serves that role better, and even Galio has more of a global presence. What is Maokai's role really? It's hard to say. Oh, beautiful combo by the Syndra. Even commits Unleash Power onto a very low Lucian, and she picks up the second kill as well. Beautiful double kill off that roam for Syndra, and now she just has to make sure her mid tower doesn't get heavily punished for it. Mid lane do have priority. In fact, blue team, after the solo kill, I'm surprised with Renekton being top as well, the blue team didn't just turn for Herald right then and there, because really, what's red team gonna do? Not going for the Herald, I do think, is a huge misplay, objective-wise. Now the Mordecai, no, not Mordecai, Rammus starts running into the Renekton. He is being heavily pinged back. He's not winning this fight. Well, someone's paying somebody back. Even Horizon does land, but it doesn't find anything. But now the Renekton has found the Varus as a kill. Polymorph comes down, but it only lasts a split second. Double kill picked up by the Vigar. A very ill-advised assist on the Rammus when Rammus had no way of helping out there. Or at least he could have helped out, but for some reason chose not to. The mace smacking away. Mord is doubling this Maokai CS, which is gross. You shouldn't be allowed to generate this much of an advantage when you're essentially played 1v1. Like, it must have been a really hard counter, and you know, to be fair, yeah, it is a really hard counter. But on the other hand, it's also Maokai, who's really not in the best spot. There are just other champs that do his job better, essentially. His claim to fame is that in a really long drawn out team fight against a lot of magic users, he's never killable. Just because stack magic exists and it heals him for so much. So he can essentially fight several mages forever. But really, if you're looking for that niche, there are other things that fill that draw better nowadays. Oh, also his pick potential. Twisted Advance, Lock on Root. His ultimate is a meme, but at least it's still a huge zoning tool. So he's got that going for him. But like I said, there are better tanks for those. Now, despite getting 2 killed, bot lane still very much ahead for red team here. 0-1-2 for both characters versus a 0-1-0 clean for blue team. So Varus is actually ahead on gold, and he has magical shoes where Lucian does not. Right? Maybe in 3 seconds we'll find out if he has it. He does have magical shoes. Okay, so he now gets his own. But still, Varus is ahead on the item. He has a finished recurve bow. Syndra still, for now, outranges the Veigar. And Veigar doesn't really output enough for Syndra to be too scared of him. He has finished Luden's Echo. So I'm really interested in what his next item is. Because if it's actually GLP coming out next, I don't know if that's the best buy on second. In fact, why take Augment at all if you're going for Luden's Echo? Oh, Maokai's throwing the kitchen sink at the Mordekaiser, but the kitchen sink included the rest of his mana bar, so he can't really get away right now. He just has to slowly walk it off, but walking off incurs such heavy damage on him. Teleport is still not up. It is so far away from being available that he's in so much trouble. Bramble Smash? Oh no. He really needs to stop Bramble smashing waves under the tower because it's actually losing him CS. He's in no rush to clear the wave just because Mordekaiser never really has the tools to dive him. Maokai is kind of hard to dive just because you just need enough mana for 1 Twisted Advance and you're probably fine against dives in a 1v1 context. Oh, a Mordecai, not Mordekaiser, Rammus. I keep trying to say more, but it's not. Oh, they do walk away from the kill. Very stylish, but very dangerous. Senna ult clips the Rammus ever so slightly. He's dropping down to dot health. Spam pings coming down. Will Mordekaiser respawn in time? He will not. Rammus seems like he will just roll his way out of there, and Senna walks to mid lane. She's trying to go for an assist, but she gets killed off immediately. Meanwhile, Mordekaiser kidnapping the Maokai. He's taking him to Pound Town, and he does get that kill while Rammus still on the way out. He is slowly escaping. The blue smite takes him down. He was so low after that blue smite still killed him after like 15 solid seconds of regen. So now, most of red team falling pretty far behind. Now yeah, Varus is doing fine, but the problem with Varus is that he's not necessarily the most mobile character. And really, what are you gonna do when Event Horizon lands around you, Renekton dashes in, and Mordekaiser is pointing his mace at you? There's just so much threat on red team that not red team, on blue team that Varus might find it difficult to just live. And that's really a terrifying thought right now for a red team. Because how are they going to beat them? Adaptive Helm is the answer for Maokai, which is the correct answer here. But I think that it doesn't even matter what he builds now. This lane is so far behind that it might not even matter. Unleash Power goes down on Veigar, but now the Renekton coming in. He wants some blood. Slice and Dice has been used. So now he's out of dashes, and now Rammus Tremors is on him. He's slowly taking damage, and the taunt does land. One more tick will do it. Rammus with the 2 CM flash gets that kill. It's a very valuable shutdown too onto the Renekton. So now suddenly some signs of life from red team. Not willing to go down easily. Stay hydrated, people. The red team bot lane has just been the most boring thing to watch. You just have Varus holding a steady CS lead, no one's really going for plays. Lulu is not necessarily known to go for plays, she's just there to run protection detail. Very rarely will Lulu actually initiate a 2v2 pick. Senna definitely has the tools to make some aggressive plays, but she's playing very passively. And here comes Aramis. He's here to turn some tables. The Senna does find it, but she gets taunted up in the last second. Tendril Corruption lands, and then chains over to the Lucian. And now Mordekaiser is here. Death Realm kidnaps in the Lulu. Will Lulu be able to survive this? The Cloud grabs her back. The tick from the passive is burning down. He does so much damage, and Lulu will just die in the Death Realm. And now Mordekaiser is here. Maokai does not have teleport, so this is going to be a 2-on-3 unless they pick off the Lucian right now, and they do. So now suddenly, without an AD carry, 2 melees cannot continue the siege, so they back off. Horrendous throw by the Lucian. They could have killed that tower if he just played it safe, but the Renekton might want more. Here comes the Rammus rolling back in. The taunt lands. Senna ultimate comes in, but it's not enough to shield the Renekton. Varus gets yet another kill. I don't know what that was, but it was really good for Red Team. Red Team needed this throw to come back into the game, and boy did they just get one in a huge manner. They're actually rotating their Veigar up top to deal with the Maokai. Which, despite being slightly... Actually, he's not even more fed, but... Despite packing slightly more damage than the Mordekaiser, I don't think the Maokai is nearly as afraid of him. Third set of buffs have respawned. Well, I think this is the fourth now, actually. We do have Cloud Drake coming up in 40. The red team should look to start taking some Drakes, especially with their bot lane being ahead. Now that they know Mordekaiser has no teleport, granted neither is Maokai, but Maokai is essentially a non-factor right now, they could probably take a 4v4. Except right now, Rammus, he's got the wrong priorities. He's actually heading topside. Can he actually make anything happen? If he dies here, then it would be pretty disastrous. The taunt does land on the Mordekaiser. Mordekaiser tries to turn and run. The claw pulls 2 people away from him. He does pop the shield. He's gonna eat it. No, he's not. The Death Realm comes down. There's so much damage. He turns it back around, kills off the Rammus, and now they have no jungler while bot lane's being pushed up, but the Lucian gets killed off. Mordekaiser grabs a double kill. Still no teleport, but that means Dragon can be started here by blue team. Are they actually gonna try it? They are gonna try it. Event Horizon gonna provide some zone. Syndra actually walks into it. Now Syndra no unleash power, Varus no tendrils, but they still have a Lulu. Lulu does not have her ultimate, but her real ultimate is Polymorph. She does throw it down onto the Renekton, and Renekton is coming in. She gets nuked down immediately. Now the Senna is in so much trouble. That Dark Spirit does so much damage. Dragon actually helps her finish off that kill. 3 people wiped inside Dragon Pit. Beautiful team fight here for the red team. 3v3. They get it off a very staggered turn from blue team and claim the dragon on top. Once again showing more signs of life, even though top lane is kind of an unsalvageable mess right now. All they have to do now is avoid the Mordekaiser 1v9. The Mordekaiser 1v9 can definitely happen. So the ADC should start looking to pay his QSS tax. Either during or after Rage Blade is done. He's gonna opt to finish a Rage Blade first here, I believe, and then immediately work on a QSS. He needs it really desperately. Being trapped in the Death Realm is one of the few ways that they will for sure lose a fight. Mordekaiser is definitely strong enough to beat the crap out of this Varus in his own realm. So Varus needs to be very conscious of that. And really, a QSS is just a really good pickup for this game in general. You have Senna roots, you have Renekton stun, you have Event Horizon. All of these worth a QSS. An early QSS this game will pay dividends in helping Varus survive. They're going to start a push bot. It's going to be a very slow push. While Maokai sending work on this top turret, he might throw away his life for this, and it will still be worth it for him. Gives his life some meaning. He's actually going for more MR, but actually he's going for a Negatron, which I believe is for Abyssal Mask, and he went that over tier 2 boost, which is definitely not the correct decision. And he's going to pay for that with his life, or force deaths coming out here by the Maokai, but at least it takes out the top turret along with him. So it's not a total loss. He's so behind right now that throwing his life away for an objective, probably worth it. In fact, the goalie would agree because the red team actually got a net gain gold off that play. Now, the Syndra and Varus this game, two very strong characters. Syndra's actually 7-2-2. She's definitely pulled way ahead of the Veigar here. In the prime position to be a solid carry. You saw in the last fight how much Dark Sphere did to Ascena, essentially taking half her health bar with just 1 Q. That's terrifying, and right now nobody on blue team is really building MR. Like the heaviest MR item is the cow on, well, I guess Umbral Glaive on Senna as well. But Senna is pretty squishy in general. Really, you see a cow on Renekton and a Merctress on Mord, and that's really about it for their cores. In terms of the defensive department. Oh, Rammus gets caught out here in the river. Can he actually make it out? He gets a Lulu shield and he's gonna waltz away just fine. That might not be the end. He's going back in. Nope, he's rolling away. And now 5-man strong, blue team starting a siege. Varus gets caught out by the Event Horizon. He doesn't have QSS done yet, and the Mordekaiser Kidnap comes in strong. He takes away the Varus, puts him in the Death Realm, and pounds him into pieces. And he's still in the back doing so much damage. Syndra has to be careful, she might be the next victim. The claw misses and the mace does as well. And now Syndra has a really tall task ahead of her. She's so low. She grabs the orb and dunks it onto the Renekton's head, but she gets immediately shut down by the Lucians. 3 for 3 overall. Mordekaiser picks up 2 of them. But critically, both of red team's carries get shut down. Mordekaiser is just showing up huge, while the Maokai is still farming top lane. There's a singular question mark on him, wondering where the hell he was. He did have teleport. He just opted to not do it. Oh no, why would he teleport there? Oh, the Rammus is coming in. The taunt onto the Lucian. He's gonna return the score. 4 for 3 so far in that extended team fight. And the Tendril Roots are coming in. The Root onto the Mordekaiser. Are they gonna commit even more? Powerball gets stopped by a minion, but the Rammus is rolling in still. The Mordekaiser passive gets popped. The fire is burning, and he grabs both the tanks back. He's still doing so much damage. Varus has to coming in to help, and the Summon Root does land on him. So now Mordekaiser is gonna walk away with just a sliver of health. The Event Horizon not gonna find any targets, but it does make the red team walk around it. Senna does blow his flash. Mordekaiser is running away, and Maokai's still going in. He's going in so hard. They kill off the Senna while Gross is taking on him before the aura slow. But now 2 people still trapped inside Event Horizon. Maokai has to be careful. He's not immortal, as has been demonstrated in laning phase plenty of times. He's just keep on running it down, hoping to get a pick. And they do get a pick on the Senna. So Senna dies, revives, just to come back and die again. So I guess Maokai finally found someone more useless than him. Polymorph goes on the Renekton, but Renekton's gonna make his way out. But the stun from across the wall gets found by the Syndra. It's not enough to convert into anything. He's just gonna walk away. Drake does respawn. Ardent Blaze spots it out, but now Syndra's on the side. They're gonna try to catch out Veigar, but the Event Horizon keeping 2 people in the cage. Now Syndra has to pop her own Zayas after Unleash Power, and she gets immediately killed off by the Lucian. And now 3-man Root coming out from the Maokai. He's laying down the zone and the CC, but can he protect them? Varus immediately QSS is out of the Death Realm, but the call pulls him back. He's taking so much damage. He's falling to Dot House, and now Renekton's on hot pursuit. Renekton does kill him off as a blue smite, and now the rest of the team fight breaks loose. AD carry still alive for blue team, and they're going to find the team fight win. A 4 for 1. Syndra gets picked off early, and the Claw grabs Varus and dunks a ton of damage onto him. QSS is the critical piece that the Varus needs to survive, but boy oh boy, that is so far from being enough to keep him alive against the Mord. Mordekaiser just outputs so much. You see this Maokai fully stacking MR. He's still not done Abyssal Mask, and he committed to Merctress. Not a single piece of armor on him. And the problem is, he still has to fight a Renekton, and a Lucian, and a Senna. Not having armor is not the way to go here. Blue team is gonna start on Baron. It's gonna be a relatively quick take. Rammus is not gonna arrive in time. Blue team takes away the Baron Nashor. Rygar farming up a little bit. Maokai still, I'll give him props for trying, but he's dangerously close to getting Flame Horizon. Just really not a good game from him. They still have to contend with a Mordekaiser who hasn't died yet this game. Oh my goodness. Despite all the resources. Not to mention, blue team with Baron is also now on Soul Point. This game is just going from bad to worse for red team. And now Maokai trying to pick a 1v1 against Mordekaiser. One might wonder what the hell he's thinking. Especially Twisted Advance in instead of allowing Min to walk away. He gets grabbed by the claw and he gets burned down by the passive. It's just a vain attempt to walk away. He shouldn't have picked that fight. Just Twisted Advance and all to get away. But no, I don't know why he keeps trying to fight the Mord. There's no way you win that fight. No matter how much MR you stack. In a 1v1 situation, a Juggernaut is a continuous damaging tool. Always out damages a tank regardless of how many MR items he stacks. It's just the way that damage works in this game. If you spend all your time mitigating damage, you're not dealing any back, and now the Varus is in so much trouble. Wild Growth even gets landed on him. Early QSS for the stun, but that means the Death Realm is fully effective here. Mordekaiser traps the Varus and kills him off. It's really not much that red team can do to survive here. Syndra is still extremely fed, but she's having really a great deal of difficulty finding an angle to actually take a fight. Now top lane does fall, is about to fall as well. Mid lane inhib does go down, so that means the rest of the reinforcements are here. Maokai is just fighting 1v4. He's throwing away his life essentially. That's going to be inhib number 2. 80 carries 10 seconds away from spawning. Beautiful 4-man stun from a Syndra, but she has to flash away from the claw. So that is flash down on Syndra as well. All these tools being expended defensively. So really, they have nothing. Like, how do you even fight this? It does look kind of hopeless. Ooh, the Rammus. Home guards up. He's gonna come in to taunt onto the Veigar, but this help gonna come. Piercing arrow comes in. The flash is very, very unnecessary. But you know what? A kill is a kill. They'll take it. They're in quite a dismal state. 8,000 gold behind. You take whatever you can get. It is quite unknown why Rammus decided to flash though. Blue team's gonna happily camp it out for the soul. They grab the soul, they have a ticket back into the game. Well, not back into the game, they have a ticket to close the game, rather. Meanwhile, Rammus, he's just so fast. He chases after Lucian, the taunt does land, but he doesn't really have damage following him. In fact, the next closest reinforcement is a Lulu, and they must realize their mistake here. They had to try to run away. Maokai is diving the tower. Alright. Follow your dreams. Cloud Drake in 10 seconds. Maokai is the one who pings that out in chat as if he didn't just try to dive someone and throw away his life for the soul. And oh dear, oh boy. Cloud Soul. Very bad. Very bad for the red team. If there's any hope of winning this game, I think has now been dashed. This is gonna be... Yep. A 50% movement speed when you ult. That thing on Renekton, that thing on Lucian. That thing on Mordekaiser. Yikes. Now the Death Realm does land. He's running so fast into his own Death Realm. And now the Ram engage comes in. The Rammus on the back line. They do pick up the Lucian, but the front line is in so much trouble here. Mordecai just does so much damage. Varus has to kite back. They do kill off the Renekton, but at what cost? A quadra kill for the Mordekaiser. 15-0-5. It's not quite a 1v9 because the rest of the team is still kind of pulling their weight. But damn, this is some top diff right here. People who say top lane can't win games, I mean, you clearly haven't fed a Mord before. He's going for this Penta. He wants this Penta. Is he gonna get it? No, he's not. Senna's gonna take that away. The ace is completed, and the game ends with blue team taking the win.